Today we're off adventuring in search of a legend. This is Gloucester in the UK, and to the south of here the Great Western Railway and the Midland Railway shared a track bed. They shared the cost of building it, and they ran their rails side by side, so it was in actual fact a 4 tracks, so you had 2 going down, 2 coming up. Now there's a section just to the south of here which is perfectly level, perfectly straight for just over 2 miles, and boys will be boys even if they are engine drivers, so of course they used to race each other down there. Now the prize going south, which the finishing post was deemed to be the Nass Lane signal box, the prize going south was glory. However, if they race coming north, and this is where I struggle, because it's well known and proven that they race going south, everybody knows that, but I've also heard they raced coming north as well, because the prize coming north was where the lines went from 4 track to 2 track around Gloucester. The winner of the race would get to go through first, while the loser would have to wait for him to clear section. So there was a good prize to be had there. But I need to know, how did the signalman know who'd won the race? The finishing post was reckoned to be the Grange Road Bridge, so wherever I read it, that came out. But that's quite a way from the signal box. Now, is it just a rumour? Did it happen? If it did, how did the signalman know? Let's go and see if we can find any clues. The bridge we're approaching now has the signal box over on the right hand side and the view south on the left. So if we go and peer over on the left hand side, we should see what the signalman would have seen. I'd say there's too much of a curve in it, to be honest. If you get to the far end you still can't see that far. Now there's a double curve in the track there, look, so there's no way the signalman would have seen down as far as Grange Road. The signal box is behind us. Neither those trees and shrubs, nor indeed this bridge, were here in the days of steam. But even so, I don't think he would have seen down past the double curve. The signal box was actually just to the left of where you see that stripy van. So we've eliminated line of sight. Now there's only 2 other possibilities, I think. One is that they had some sort of code whistle that the engines would give to let them know whether it was Midland or Great Western first, but I think the most likely would have been track circuiting. I know track circuiting has been out for a long time. It was invented in 1864 in America actually, so I think that's possibly the way that it happened. He would see which one of the engines had entered their last section first, and he then had time to reset the signals and the points. Okay, we'll pick up the story now a little bit farther down the line. This is the Grange Road Rail Bridge. This is either the starting point or the finishing point. Depends whether you're going north or south. Used to be just fields when I were a lad. And we used to climb the bank there to put our pennies on the rails. In those days. Not an acceptable risk these days, I don't think. Lovely structure with blue engineering brick on a skew as well, showing some battle damage and standing up to it well. That's some beautiful brickwork, all on the skew. And here you get an impression of the width, because here it was 4 track above this one. Then on the inside it goes from brick to stone. So the stone was obviously the first bridge, and then when the lines got doubled up, they added on that bit. We'll take a wander out this side. Isn't that a beautiful classic road bridge for a railway? Don't know if we've seen anything up here or not. Worth a shot. Well, we see a lot of trees. We'll give up on that. That's used up some of my Parkinson's mileage for no good reason. We could get to the fence as we can now, but beyond it, well. So we'll put that down to experience. And now we're going to head for the next objective, which is Nass Lane crossing. Well, this is the story of a changing role, really. This used to be the road. See the tarmac surface? And it led to a level crossing. And the footpath went right the way round through an accommodation bridge. A farmer's accommodation bridge. They didn't like the level crossing, so they made the road go through the accommodation bridge and turn the road into a footpath. That's what we're on now, heading hopefully for level crossing. Nass Lane crossing then. Official start or end of the unofficial race. You see what I mean? Last time we had a train, isn't it? Gosh, that was going fast. Wow. Well, the various signal boxes stood over there, I fancy. It's up there a bit. We had a few. Burnt one down in 1977, then got rid of them all. Having said that, look, there's a square area here where these boxes are, and some rail. Could that have been the signal box site? Remains of an old siding over there. Wow, that's architectural, isn't it? Could be a work of art, that. Don't think my wife would let me put it in the garden, but she ought to. So why was this the racetrack? Well, if you look down there and there's another train coming, dead straight. And if you look towards Tuffley, that's dead straight. There's just over 2 miles of dead straight flat rail racing with. The other one must have cleared section pretty quick. Bearing in mind this was 4-track in the day. Lovely to see this old rail being put to use. It served its time. Actually had a rail. So what once was a road crossing, now just a footpath. I don't know if we can see anything of the installation of the old crossing gates. A gnarly lump of wood and a concrete post showing us the boundary, if nothing else. Oh, nothing in the hedge. Not that I can see. And that's certainly not a level crossing gate. Hello! Looking towards the rail. The remains of the tarmac here. About as straight as they go. some concrete channeling here, probably modern I would guess. It cuts through the old tarmac of the road surface, which puts the gates about there. Evidently removed when they put the new fencing up. Have a closer look at this old thing. That would have been witness to the races, without a shadow of a doubt. The rail stretching out towards Gloucester. Look at that detail. A nice curve put into the rail there, but that wasn't easy. Oh, look at that rail chair. Well, double rail chair, isn't it? Gorgeous. And the rails disappear up there. Heading for Gloucester. Just pop round the other side. That's been there a number of years, isn't it? We're going in all directions. Although the sleepers have rotted out, which speaks of a great old age, the remaining chairs have got BR on them. Actually looks like BRI, or was that DRI? No date that I can see. This one still has a rail clamp in place. Oh, we've upset the ants digging this one out. Don't think I shall linger. But we've got a date. (1956), I reckon. So, still in the steam age. Well, on this section of rail, which is kind of connected to the buffer, there is a different style of chair. It says GKN on the other side. I'm not sure if that's a date or not. Certainly not 1985. There's another one. Not 1895, is it? Can't be. It's an original rail if it was. Or an original chair. We can't get any more information. The chairs are somewhat buried. I haven't got enough kit to dig them out. Oh well, take your pick. Certainly a fair old section of rail. Not lightweight stuff. Well, we'll leave that to the experts. Time to move on. So we'll take. I wonder, is that all that's left of the signal box? A humble pile of bricks. Wow. That's known as Robinswood Hill in the distance. I grew up very close to that. If I have grown up, listen to my wife, perhaps I haven't. And they're doing line side maintenance, chopping it all back. Midland Railway's, Great Western Railway's racetrack. Okay, we're going to have a look now at Harefield since it's just down the road. May as well take a look, see what we can see. Answer probably very little. I wouldn't mind popping around the corner to look at the old accommodation bridge. There's a footpath so far, and then they gave up. I guess they figured it wasn't leading anywhere, so not much point. It's a reasonable sized road. I guess if you're building a new one, you might just do the job properly, but it becomes just a little lane. A bit farther on, we're back to the original. And there it is, a rather fine accommodation bridge. Built so the farmer could get access to his fields when the railway cut his land in half, while everybody else had to use the level crossing. Now the farmer has to use the level crossing and everyone uses his bridge. Is that fair? Might only have been built for a farmer, but my gosh, they made a good job of it. None of this metric nonsense here. Oh, how's that escaped? Okay, so we'll pad back to Harefield Station. Site of. Right, Harefield. Kind of. And here we find this modern-ish rail bridge, which was built to do away with another level crossing. We'll have a look at that later. North to where we've just come from. And then over there, Harefield Station. 3 lines there, nearly a return to 4. It's good, isn't it? Station's there somewhere. Harder to find than I thought, this one. We're right opposite Harefield Court. Just in case you weren't sure. And I'm sure they won't mind me taking that shot. Rather pleasant. But what we're after is in front of the truck. Again, like Nass Crossing really, Nass Lane crossing. Used to be a road and is now a footpath. At least this one's been cleared out a bit. It's good. Track off to the left. Does somebody know something? No, it's just a shortcut to the road. Oh well, you've got to try them. And here we come out to the station site of pedestrian crossing lights. That's rare. Now the station then was ahead of us now, which is off to our left, which is where that turnout is. Just about there. That's the bridge we were on a short while ago. Oh, are there any remains? Certainly there's that. The Beacon Hotel. As it says, the Beacon and Railway Hotel. There's your clue. We're on green. In fact, there was only a Midland station here. GWR didn't have one. So there was a centre platform and an edge platform. From this side, there's whatever that was. You'd have to say the shape would be a signal box, wouldn't you? And then the station would have ranged with its centre platform down there. Nice chunks of rail here, waiting to be fitted, I think, or left over from the last renovation. They had 1 or 2 bags of ballast left over as well. Get the weeds, they've been there a while. Perhaps they're maturing. Track circuiting, look. Modern day track circuiting. The railway is divided up into sections or blocks. The train wheels complete the circuit when it's in one of the sections, and the signalman knows where the train is. I think the modern day equivalent is a little bit more complex, but it's the same basic principle. That's a well-built hotel, isn't it? So that would have been a Midland hotel then, since the GWR didn't stop here. Too busy racing, I think. That's looking towards Gloucester and the racetrack, and I think we're about done, aren't we? I could try grovelling in the undergrowth up there, but it looks a bit thick and I don't know that it would yield many results. So I'm going to call this a day. Call it a wrap. We'll wait for one train. Looking in the Stonehouse direction, you can see the width there for the 4 track. Wonderful, and there's a turnout been made too. I think that might be work in progress. Chance to look at a modern points system. Just see the toe of the rail. Modern electrical engineering. Electromechanical, I guess you'd say. Looks like we have some sensitive residents around here. Well, that's a bargain. We're in business. I couldn't resist a grovel in the undergrowth before going. More out of hope, I think, than anything else. I missed that one. And there, just through the fence. Yeah, I gave it a shot. This is where the station would have stood. It's a wooden structure to start with. It was later constructed in brick, and now it's been completely removed. It's a pity. Well, I don't think I solved the mystery for you. I don't know whether it's there to be solved or not, really. But anyway, we had a walk around, didn't we? We saw a few trains and we delved into a little bit of history. It perhaps made us smile from time to time. These train drivers acting like boys and racing. But, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did and you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you subscribe, we do a few of these adventures and other things as well. You can always join in, and if you click like, that helps the channel, and if you share, brilliant. Spread the word, and I'll catch you on the next one. So did they race going north? I'm sure I've seen a reference to it somewhere, because the Grange Road Bridge was the finishing point, the finishing line, but I can't find the reference. Anybody out there know?